Hi, I'm Wayward, and this is Grey Goo. I have a 1 versus 1 here on Barca's Bayou between Eggbot as the purple goo at the top right and at the bottom right as the blue beta Mixu. I believe this is the finals for the Taste of Goo tournament that was fairly recently held. This is the last match, I believe, of a best of 3, best of 5, I assume. Um, anyway, I think this is the last match, so the winner of this was, I believe, also the winner of the tournament. Let's take a look at just put our buildings tab up real quick. So, Mixu taking a pretty standard approach here with for a larger map with a hangar, so we can scout for the goo pretty quick. And Eggbot also taking a pretty standard approach by leaving the start area, coming over here to get these rich resources. Now, for anyone not familiar, the quick script mod is created by XCet, basically keeping the Grey Goo community alive with his tournaments and playing and just everything, and the quick script mod. How the quick script mod works is when any player, either for the goo when they get that first tick of resources on their mother, that first block, or with the other factions, the first refinery, it refunds the cost of the refinery to really speed up the early game. Games are a lot faster, and it's a lot more enjoyable to both play and watch, pretty much generally. Eggbot being a little aggressive. Normally, what you see with the goo is they try to build as many mothers as possible, as early as possible, and just kind of try to hide from their opponent while they build up resources. Here we have 2 mother goos into protein production. Looks like we've had 3 proteins produced, and now those have all been transformed into units. Of course, when goo units are first produced, they are at like 60-something% health, 66% health or something, and do heal themselves over time when out of combat. This incentivizes the goo player to train their units not in the middle of combat, because otherwise they are at a disadvantage. So this was, of course, scouted, and Mixu is responding pretty appropriately. I don't know that wall is going to go up. So Mixu's been really greedy down here. It looks like he's got 3 refineries and 3 factories. He's going to try to hold this with these wall segments. We will see if that works. This refinery is going to probably go down, and that's going to be really bad for poor Mixu. This is not great splitting against these drovers. They are able to and I think there was a sell-off before it died, maybe? Mixu floating a lot of resources right now, it looks like. Almost 1,000. This is a bad choice, I think. That refinery is not doing much. Although Mixu's actually kind of holding this. He's got some wall segments up. That refinery either was sold off or did not go down. The Stratus does have eyes on at least one of the mothers. I think I can switch players real quick. So he definitely sees the one of them. Okay, let's go back to everyone. These Striders being annoying, but I don't think they're able to get in right now and continue to push. So in the last match, which I recently cast before this one, this strategy actually worked by Eggbot. And he was able to take this really aggressive push and just come in and wipe out Mixu. But Mixu's held it this time by the skin of his teeth, I might add. He's actually down 1 refinery for that. And yeah, so he could have had more refineries at this point. And Eggbot's still in a really good position, able to kind of transition into 4 mothers. Which is a pretty good economic position. Now it's Mixu's turn to try to punish his opponent. We'll see if that's able to work. it looks like Eggbot knows what's going down. He's got some drovers coming out. That's not enough drovers to take out these commandos, though. So unless we have some reinforcements, this is going to be pretty. There are the reinforcements right there. I think this is plenty to hold this little push. The Mama might take some damage, but I think we'll be okay. There's enough stuff here. Oh, this is... What? Oh, that was not well played, Eggbot. I'm very sorry. That mother didn't need to take hardly as much damage. He was way slow in responding to this. Also going to take more damage in terms of units than he should. This was plenty of drovers to take out that force, and this was a bad loss. A bad trade. We do have some Striders still being annoying out here, forcing Mixu to be on the defensive. Still going around them. You should let him push out. Slightly bad timings here from Eggbot, but still in a strong position. Got a 5th mother out right now. Let's take a look quick at the resources while there's a bit of a delay. So Mixu actually doing not as good, not quite as good as Eggbot in terms of resources. It's pretty close. Oh no, I hate this upgrade. So right now Mixu is researching detonation packs, which causes these commandos to explode when they die, dealing AoE damage, and it's horrible, especially against the Goo. The Goo really hate it. It makes it impossible to keep drovers alive, basically. 5 mothers to 4 refineries. That's pretty good. Ideally, Eggbot wants to do a little better than that. He needs to get another Mama out quickly. Not quite enough saved up for that. Drovers being annoying. Not going to do too much there. These commandos are more than enough to take that out. This is a pretty decent army, but I saw a Predator right there mixed in, so we're starting to get tier 2 out. Striders trying to be annoying, but there's enough commandos here, I think, to hold this off. Could snipe the refinery, maybe. Kind of attacking all over the place. The Predator does not do as quite enough, but better than nothing. Does snipe the refinery, so that makes that attack worthwhile. But Eggbot kind of needs to be careful. We do have some Radiance there for scouting, but they're not really... There we go. There we go. Now they're out and about. Eggbot's still in the dominant position in terms of map presence. He's got units on both areas of the map. He is forcing his opponent Mixu into his base. Good contain. Not really taking advantage of it. I feel like some of these resources should go to additional mothers because eventually, I mean, ultimately it would be nice to seal the deal, but eventually if Mixu is careful, he can get just big enough an army to push out, and then he's going to have the advantage. But it looks like all of the resources right now are going to mothers, and we do have some commandos up here. It looks like Eggbot is aware of this. He is reacting in time. Oh no, the Protean goes down before. So this could be really bad actually for Eggbot. Nah, he's able to escape. Gonna take some damage, and that mother's not going to be useful for very long. It's going to be a while before that mother is useful again. It's got to bank up a lot of resources. And this is where things could go bad for Eggbot. This is a lot of drovers, but that Predator is going to put some weight into this little force. Another mother under threat. This could be bad. There's just a unit's worth of resources that it lost. And the Predator is going to make this hard for the drovers to fight. Protean turning into... 2 Proteans turning into Striders. And this army being cleaned up. We have Hailstorms out now for Mixu. This is where it gets really bad for our Goo player. This mother is going to take a long time to get back up to speed, and Eggbot has no forces. He's just got those Radiance, and they're just sitting down there doing nothing. I think we're up to 7 mothers now. So 2 were produced while I was... There's another one. But we're potentially... One of them's not useful at this point. And this is where things are looking pretty scary for Eggbot. He just does not have units, and there's units coming out from Mixu. He managed to hold it. He managed to be patient. He managed to build up an army, and now he's doing okay, and his opponent is still a couple minutes out from having a decent response. We have more Radiance now. No anti-air. I guess there's just the one Stratus. Actually have 2 upgrades. We have the platform stability. That's a really useful one. That mother is probably going to be okay. Where are the hailstorms? There's 3 in there. Hailstorms, of course, are a mobile artillery, and with the platform stability can fire on the move. So that's going to be really annoying for the Goo, and there's several of them out. Predators. No tier 2 for the Goo at this point. Not much in the way of units. We have some Striders. That's going to be okay, but with this nice big spread of this army, it's going to be really, really hard for... And that mother's still being picked away at. We have units on both sides, so it's always going to be taking damage no matter where it is. This mother's going down. It catches 1 of the commandos, but then explodes. That's pretty bad. We have another mother threatened here, and kind of a 3-pronged attack going on. More lost units. We do have a decent army. Beta player still has more units on the field and higher tech, and those hailstorms are going to put a hurting on the Goo. There's not much. This is a good force composition. It's good against armor. It's good against infantry. This is going to be hard to break into. What Eggbot would really need is artillery of his own, or a much, much larger army to be able to push into this and to take those hits. That's a lot of AoE. This force is not really able to stop moving, or it's being whittled down, but just all of this beta stuff can fire on the move. Very painful. You know, I guess what Eggbot could have done is tried to sacrifice his mothers, some of his mothers, to attack into this. Definitely would have lost 1 or 2, but it's possible he could have turned that around. This mother waffling, not gonna run away, I don't think. We're up at 8, but yeah, we've got some harassment here, and there's just no army. Drovers are not going to do well against hailstorms, especially against this many. Watch them melt. Shatter, I guess, since they break. Beta player with more than twice the population of the Goo player. That's never where you want to be. It does happen as the Goo, but not usually this late in the game. There's now, but no time for them to build up. Mixu is pushing his advantage. He knows that he has the advantage, and he's spreading out. Mother needs to run away more. Could lose 3 mothers to this force, and what little army he's able to gather is really in danger. Yeah, there we go. Eggbot throwing out the GG. Eggbot really strong in the beginning. I think when it became evident that he wasn't quite going to seal the deal with the Striders, his transition away was a little too slow, letting Mixu gain and eventually press that advantage. I think there was a small window when Eggbot pulled back, when he could have just built up his force. He really was lacking tier 3. Large protein units there in the end. The destructors, the artillery bastions, something to take those hailstorm shots. But Mixu just being patient and careful and holding that that really early pressure better than he did in the last game, was able to secure his advantage, and in the long term was able to take the win. Well played, Mixu. Both players well played, but it's really, really hard to stay calm under pressure like that. So, again, well played, Mixu. This is Wayward Strategy, and this is Grey Goo. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.